So there was a young lady, a young woman who was blind. She was looking for a shidduch. She was a blind girl. It was tough finding a shidduch. One day they set her up with this boy. He fell madly in love with her. And he married her. And he took very, very good care of her. One day they were listening to the radio and they heard that there's this one doctor in the United States that was able for blind people to do eye transplants. And she was so excited. She said to her husband, eye transplants. If I could get an eye transplant, I could see. I've never been able to see my whole life. It would be amazing. How do we go about it? And he researched it. And he got himself on a list. On a list, just like for a heart transplant, for an eye transplant, for his beautiful Chana, his beautiful wife. The problem was, they got an answer that there's a 20-year wait. They're 20 years away because there are very few people who donate their eyes. And she was very broken. 20 years? Okay. He saw that his wife was very, very broken. He heard that his wife was very broken. So a month later, he comes into the house and he says, Chanallah, it's a miracle. For whatever reason, they pushed us way up. You're next. They have found a donor for you. We're going to take you to that hospital. We're going to get that eye transplant. Wow. She didn't ask how he did it. She didn't ask what he did. She's going to get eyes. So the day before the operation, they're sitting in the hospital in the room. And he turns to Chana and he says, Chana, I just have to tell you something that you don't know since we're married. That not only are you blind, I'm also blind. But I never wanted you to know that. I never wanted you to pity me. I wanted to always be there for you. So I want you to have this eye transplant. I'll get one too. But I want you to have it. Therefore, when you get your eyesight, just don't be shocked when you see that I'm blind. She starts crying. I can't believe you love me so much. You could have gone for the eye transplant and you're giving it to me. And however you got this one, we'll get another one. And she was just so in love with him. And the next day they did the transplant. And it worked. And for 5 days her eyes were taped. And finally when they took off the tape, she was able to see a little bit and more and more and more. And she saw Taka that her husband was blind. And she said, okay, he took care of me, now I'll take care of him. She thought that was how it was going to be. But what happened was that now was the first time she was able to see. She was able to see colors. She was able to see people. She was able to see the world. The marriage began to dissolve. Always schlepping him around. Her not being able to go skiing because he can't go skiing and not able to see the world because he can't see the world. It began to drive a rift between the two of them. Till finally, the marriage was just not working. She didn't have the heart to tell it to him in person. So she called him one day. She said, Chaim, it's just not working anymore. I can't live with you anymore. I want a divorce. Chaim was like, what? Yeah, Chaim, it's just not working. I need to be married to someone who can see. I want to go see the world. I want to do things that you can't do when you're blind. I want a different life. He says, I can't really say I understand, but I guess I understand and I respect you, and if that's what you want to you want a divorce, we'll go to Beis Din, we'll get you a divorce, I'll pack up today, I'll get my stuff out of the house. And I guess, that's just the way, things are. She said, I'm really, really sorry. I really, really sort of love you, but whatever, it's just what I have to do for me. He said, no problem, I'll be out by tonight. So he packed up his stuff and he left. That night she came home, all the stuff was gone, and there on her bed was a letter that her husband had written. Dear Chana, I really, really love you, and I've always really loved you. I respect your decision to leave me, but I have one big favor to ask you. And that favor is, take care of those eyes, because not long ago, they were mine. Yeah, there was no more 20-year wait, because he gave her his eyes. What a story. When I heard it, I was crying like a baby. We're sitting here tonight before Rosh Hashanah. There's a pasuk in the Torah in Bereshis, and the pasuk says, "Vayitzer Hashem Elokim es ha'adam afa min ha'adama." God created man, dirt from the earth. Vayipach ba'apav nishmas chayim. And God blew into every one of us a soul, His soul of life. God gave us life. He gave us a transplant. He gave us His soul. And what did we do? What do we do with that holy soul? We tell Hashem, the soul is great. Yeah, go to shul, good. But I got to see the world. I got to be busy with my BlackBerry. I got to be busy with everything else but you. I'm busy with everything else but you. But Hashem gave us those eyes. Hashem gave us this soul. And on Rosh Hashanah tonight in Slichus, Hashem tells us, take care of that neshama, because that neshama was once mine. And we need to look into ourselves the night of Slichos and say, did we take care of those eyes that God gave us? In every one of us, He breathed a neshama. Or are we like Chana? We're so busy looking at everything else in the world, we don't even realize where life comes from. We don't even realize that life comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shedding a kippur is not a joke. Tonight, Slichos is not a joke. Tonight we begin to cry, I'm sorry. I can't believe what I did. You gave me your eyes. I used them to look at things I'm not supposed to. You gave me your feet, and I walked to the wrong things. You gave me your hands, and I touched the wrong things. You gave me the ability to eat and to taste, and I ate the wrong things, and I didn't make a bracha. You gave me a brain, and I'm busy putting you on trial, God, for all the things you did this year. Every part of me that you gave me, I abused. So Hashem writes a little card to us on Rosh Hashanah. What you're doing, you did, and what you're doing, whatever you're doing, you're doing. But that soul that you're carrying around, take care of it. That was once mine. If you're able to listen to all the tekiyos and to change what's going on inside your soul, then we're all going to be zeicha this year for that final tekiya gedolah that we've been waiting for. Mashiach!